The Lascaux is a series of caves in southern France. It was discovered in September of 1940 by a group of teenagers. They were around 18 years old. They were going there to hang out. The cave is filled with a series of Paleolithic cave paintings. That are mostly made up of animals, human figures. None of them that were in the cave were actually about the environment or the vegetation. But what was used is a lot of natural things that were used, natural colorings, and so any damage that is caused to the paintings is very significant, and that's a problem that they have right now. Did you pause it?
Elon.
No, you're not supposed to pause it.
Have like commercials brought to you by.
Wait,
Who did I give it to?
Charlemagne and his empire. Charlemagne, he was born on April 2, 742. He was born around modern-day Germany. He's the son of Berchada of Louvain and Pepin the Short. He was also a medieval emperor that took over Western Europe and wanted everybody to convert to Christianity. Pope Leo III ruled him as Emperor of Rome. He wanted everyone to be Christians, and then he died. After he died in 814, his empire restored his values like Christianity in the area.
Daisy.
In September 1066, Norman French invaded England and brought Norman French. Norman French was brought into England, and England borrowed 10,000 new words from the French language to the English, and now the French was used in England society, for example, culture and government. This was effective because if you wouldn't follow the rules, you would be killed, so you would have to change the way you talked. And Guillaume the Conqueror was really important because he started from the bottom. He didn't really have rich parents, so he went from being poor to being a warrior. And I forgot. And that's it.
I wonder what that had. The 100 Years' War. You could probably guess it was like 100 years. It's from 1337 to 1453. It was a series of conflicts between the House of Plantagenet, the House of, it's like Valois or something, the Kingdom of France, the Kingdom of England, and it basically it was 5 generations of kings over. 5 generations of kings of 2 rival dynasties, and it was basically just all of them fighting for the biggest kingdom in Europe. And what is it called? Gotta remember. What the heck? Just move on. It's all good.
Jeanne d'Arc was born on January 6, 1412. She was a French heroine because she was considered a French heroine because of her role in the Lancasterian phase during the 100 Years' War. She had visions from Archangel Michael, Saint Margaret, and Saint Catherine that told her to support Charles Beale and to save France from English domination. In 1430, she was ordered by a king to confront a Burgundian assault, and they captured her and killed her. Me?
Oh, wait, no, it's her.
That's why I was giving it to you.
So that's you. You're recording, doesn't it?
Okay, so Francois Premier, his coronation was on January 25th, 1494. Oh my god, I just said it. He invented the French Renaissance. He's known as Francois the Long Nose and the Night King. And that's all I wrote.
Le Grand Siècle and Le Roi Soleil Louis XIV. It was the reign of the Sun King, and Louis XIV was born on the 5th of September in 1638, and sadly he died a few days before his birthday on the September 1st of 1715. Under his rule, France participated in 3 wars. The first was the Franco-Dutch War, there was the League of Augsburgs, and the Spanish Succession. There were many failed assassinations attempts on his life when he was a child, and he was responsible for creating the Palace of Versailles. Well, he instructed the creation of it. And he also put in the system of the nobility of robe, where you could buy yourself into nobility rather than inheriting it by blood. And the wars in his time, because he had an absolute monarchy, he had all the say. There was a lot of economic trouble and strife on the people. So you could say that he kind of like built the anger that was happening that led up to the French Revolution to his younger generations.
The French Revolution started in 1789. It ended in around the 1790s. During the French Revolution, it left France in debt, like really a lot. As of right now, they still don't have a complex solution of how it even started. The French Revolution. The French Revolution started because, some part of it started because of social and political uphealing problems and situations. The French Revolution so now the French Revolution celebrates that day, like as how we celebrate like the 4th of July. There's this July 14th. Many people were put in, I guess you could say, poverty. Some of them were low and stuff. They took over the monarchy, and it brought down everything. So, yeah.
The French Revolution's legacy was that it changed art drastically, because before the French Revolution, they would show peasants as having happy and doing leisurely activities in their life, despite every day their lives were in danger because of the hunger that they would have to face. So after this, peasant life became more commonly accepted, and it even became a fashion movement where some political parties, it was actually fashionable to dress up as a peasant. The French legacy also brought us the iconic and famous French flag, the blue, white, and red. It also brought us the French national anthem, and it brought us the motto of liberty, equality, and fraternity. That translates in French to liberté, égalité, and fraternité.
All
Alright, the Second French Republic, or the Second French Empire, the rule of Louis Napoleon or Napoleon III, and the reconstruction of France. Before Napoleon III was ascended to throne, there was something called the 1848 revolutions. The term "when France sneezes, Europe catches a cold" was very important term to call, because in the 1848 revolutions, there was a uprising in France against the current king, Louis Philippe I, Louis Premier de Era. He was very oppressive and he caused a lot of strife in the nation. He also joined other countries joined the revolution, such as Austria, the German states, and other countries. But the revolutions failed, so it didn't work out. Another revolution is that after Louis Philippe was kicked out, Napoleon III was elected as president of. He was the only president of the Second French Republic. But 4 years after his election, he ascended into throne as the Emperor of France. After that, he promoted the industrialization of France. He promoted more liberal things rather than more conservative emperors back in the day. And he basically made France great again. Under the help of Baron Haussmann, he improved France's infrastructure. They added Le Croisset, or the crossroads. They added more wider boulevards. They added more wider roads, and which made traffic easier to control. And then they also made the sewers more efficient and cleaner, because back in the day, diseases were very common, like tuberculosis, all lung-based diseases. But after that, the diseases were wiped out. There was a higher survival rate. After that, Napoleon III had very liberal foreign policy. He advocated for nationalism, which is basically the country's citizens share an equal language, history, and culture, which basically unites the country into one. He was also a supporter of popular sovereignty, which basically it's the people rule. The people choose. The people mandate the government. They choose the representatives for their rights. During the day, he participated in about 2 wars: the Crimean War and the Franco-Prussian War. The Crimean War was a war against the Ottoman Turks, Russia, France, Britain, and other states. Russia lost the war because, the Ottoman Empire lost the war because Russia, the Ottoman Turks, and the British were in the alliance together. Then the Franco-Prussian War was a war between Germany and France. Germany won, France lost. Germany won because of their overwhelming military power and very big nationalism. France lost. After France loses, Louis Napoleon III was exiled to Britain, where he lived and died peacefully. Before that, he also supported the Suez Canal, which was a waterway built in Africa, which made the crossing of India much more efficient. He supported the British, which was kind of uncommon because the French and British have a very long relationship that they hate each other. And that's about it.
Wow. Impressive.